Erosion Control Technology Council presents RECP installation in a channel application. Step 1. Properly prepare and grade the site. The first step is to prepare and properly grade the channel. It's important that the site is properly prepared before laying down any rolled erosion control products. Grade the site to a smooth profile and ensure that it's free from any large clods, gullies, rivulets, and debris such as large stones, roots, or sticks. Fill any voids and make sure that the channel is properly compacted. Channel preparation can be done either by hand or machine. Once the site is prepared, you can move on to Step 2. Step 2. Seed and soil amendments. The next step is to seed the area. However, before applying seed, be sure to use proper soil amendment practices. Always match your seed to site soil conditions for optimum germination, root system development, vegetation density, and long-term functionality. Seed selection may also vary based on the water conditions expected immediately after installation. Also, seed type planted above the expected water line may differ from the seed type planted below the expected water line. Once the seed is down, move on to Step 3. Channel installation, rollout direction. Before installing product in a channel, it's important to point out that product should always be unrolled in the direction of the water flow and not against it. Channel installation, RECP placement. When laying product in a channel, always deploy the first roll in the center of the channel bottom, working your way up the sides. Always aim to minimize the number of seams placed in the bottom of the channel. Also, be sure to prevent any seams from going down the center of the channel bottom in areas of concentrated water flow. Step 4. Dig the anchor trench. RECPs must be secured at the beginning of the channel using an anchor trench. The anchor trench should be located at the very beginning of the channel. Dig a 6-inch by 6-inch anchor trench perpendicular to the direction of water flow across the entire width of the channel. An anchor trench can be dug by hand or by machine. Once the anchor trench is in, you're ready to place the product. Step 5. Place and unroll the product. When placing your rolled erosion control products in a channel, always start at the center of the channel bottom and work your way up the sides. Product placement should start 30 inches upstream of the anchor trench. Once the product is placed in the trench, securely staple the product to the bottom of the trench using a stapler stake every 12 inches. With the RECP now secured to the bottom of the trench, backfill and compact the soil, being sure to place seed over the compacted soil. The next step is to fold the product over the compacted anchor trench, finishing off and leveling the beginning of the RECP. Unroll the RECP by walking it down the channel, guiding the product as you go. You do not want to kick or let the product roll down unaided, as this can cause product damage or pull the product out of its anchor trench. Let's now move on to Step 6. Overlapping product. When laying two separate rolls of product beside one another down a channel, it's recommended that the product be overlapped 4 inches and secured. Some manufacturers may vary in their overlapping, so be sure to follow the manufacturer's guidelines when installing their products. Step 6. Secure the RECP. The next step is to secure the unrolled RECP to the bottom of the channel. A typical installation requires a minimum staple pattern of 1 staple every 36 inches down the channel's length, accompanied by 1 staple every 24 inches across the product's width. The higher the expected flows, the more staples needed. Staples can be applied either by hand or mechanically using a staple gun. The ECTC recommends that you follow the manufacturer's recommended staple pattern. Step 7. Shingle overlap. When one RECP ends, you must shingle overlap the new roll. A shingle overlap is made by placing the upstream product over the downstream product. There should be 4 inches of overlap between the upstream and downstream product. Shingle overlaps should be secured with a check slot. A check slot is made by installing 2 rows of staples across the width of the product. Staples should be staggered and spaced 4 inches apart. Step 8. Cover the outlet bank. To cover the bank by the outlet, lay the RECP horizontally across the face of the culvert. Overlap the RECP over the trench at the base of the culvert. Cut out the opening of the culvert and secure the product around the outlet. Secure the rest of the RECP along the edges and staple the product using the pattern described earlier. Step 9. Install check slots. Every 25 feet down the channel, the rolled erosion control product should be secured using a check slot. Check slots are important because as water tries to get underneath the product, check slots are used to force the water back to the top. A check slot is constructed by installing 2 rows of staples or stakes staggered and spaced 4 inches apart. A check slot should be installed across the entire width of the channel at 25-foot intervals throughout the channel. Also place a check slot at each shingle overlap and at the installation's terminal end. Check slots can be installed either by hand or mechanically. Final step, secure the terminal end. The final step is to anchor the rolled erosion control product at the end of the channel. Anchor the terminal end by installing a check slot. With the terminal end secured, the installation is now complete. The method just described works for degradable RECPs and turf reinforcement mats that do not require soil filling. If soil filling is required, the basic installation steps remain the same. However, there is some change to the sequence of installation. For turf reinforcement mats requiring soil filling, the first step is to grade and prepare the soil surface. The next step is to install the TRM as previously described. The third step is to place seed over top of the TRM. Finally, with the seed down, cover the turf reinforcement mat with soil and consider a degradable RECP to cover the bare soil and accelerate vegetative establishment. Once fully covered, the TRM is successfully installed. That concludes RECP channel installation. We hope you've enjoyed this video. For additional information, contact the ECTC at ectc.org or contact the product's manufacturer. Thanks for watching.